up, everybody? We are back with The Tribe Has Spoken, and I am here.
No, it's not The Tribe Has Spoken.
Okay,
Start again.
got it.
Ashleigh, don't cut any of this, though.
The Tribe Has Spoken, which is what we saw on TV, but we are The Pod Has Spoken, and I am back. That's the first time I've gotten it wrong in 5 years, which feels pretty bad, but also is a reflection of my age. I'm not ashamed. And we're here with Riley, who corrected me, who also isn't even here all the time. The nerve. Riley, welcome back. Everybody touch and go always as is, but you were here on time, and I love you for that. Thanks again.
Good thing I was, too. People would have no idea what they're listening to.
I'm starting to trust you more.
Thank you.
We're also here with producer and co-host Ashleigh. Hi, Ashleigh.
Hello, y'all.
We have a treat for everyone today. The darling of season 37, David versus Goliath, Angelina, Keeley, also star of White Lotus. Were you in 2 seasons of White Lotus now? Is that, was there another cameo flashback from I feel like there was.
I would say it's a stretch to say 2 seasons, but I mean, I'll take it if you want to give it to me. I was
2
in like a
full
very
seasons.
blurry background research of Belinda on her computer. So let's maybe 1.5. I'll call it 1.5.
Okay, 1.5 seasons of the White Lotus, which is 1.5 more seasons than anybody else on this podcast currently. So you hold the record. What do you think of the jackets this season on 48? Any good ones? Any ones you've been eyeballing?
I'll be honest, nothing's really calling to me this season. You know, when I feel really enthusiastic about one, I'll usually say something about it. But yeah, this season, the jackets aren't popping for me. Nope.
Can't that be your bit, like on Instagram, like rate the jackets after like the first episode? Like that should be the Angelina Keeley
I've
way.
done it a couple times. But I really, I have a high palate for it. So I like to wait until I'm really called to something. You know how people are foodies. I'm kind of a Jackie. So, I like to really, my level's really high. If I'm going to post about it, it's going to be like a really good jacket. Yeah, nothing this season, but the people are good. But the jackets, they could be better.
Okay, how about this for content? You rank them as if you were a jacket and dating that jacket. So, like, there's a guy that's like, if I were a horse, would I date this horse? And then he goes into it, and then he talks about that. So I think you saying, if I were a jacket, would I date this jacket?
Who would think?
He does it with.
Who's this horse
He does it with
guy?
every animal. He does it with every animal. He's like, if I were a salamander, would I date this salamander? Then he just comments on each like variety of salamander, and it's
people
funny
think
content.
of the craziest stuff. Well,
I know they're
speaking of
geniuses.
animals,
There's so many geniuses out there.
I want to start.
What animal are
actually
you
with,
fighting?
What are you? I'm asked you first, Tyson. What do you got? You're a player. You've got some athleticism. You're 45, but you got some athleticism in you still.
Yeah, there's no way a human man is fighting either an old gorilla or a hyena. Both of those guys are wrong. And I think it just speaks to the times we're living in where a adult man feels like he can beat a gorilla. We've built everyone up so much and refused to criticize anybody so much that there's a guy this season on Survivor who thinks he can beat a hyena and another guy who thinks he can beat a gorilla. And that's absurd to me. I'm a realist and I'm gonna, it's like not even like a questionable win. Like I have to win. I could definitely fight off a female mountain lion. I don't think like a big male mountain lion.
Wait, hold on. We think that the guy, Kyle, who says he can beat a hyena, that's
hyenas
ridiculous.
Are way gnarlier.
That's ridiculous. But a mountain
hyenas
lion
push
is
lions off of kills. Hyenas push lions like this off of a kill.
In a pack, though, right? You
didn't hear of the guy, Ashleigh, back me up here. There's the guy in Boulder, Colorado, who killed a mountain lion with his bare hands. He was out jogging, trail running, did it with his bare hands.
Yeah,
I have enough knowledge. No, I'm not going out to fight a mountain lion. I'm not hunting down a mountain lion to fight it with my bare hands. If a mountain lion attacked me, I could fight it in a way that I would come out victorious.
I just don't understand the disconnect between a hyena being like completely.
Then you don't
a
understand the
ridiculous
animal
thing.
kingdom, bro.
maybe not.
Hyenas.
It's
They're
one hyena.
crushing jaw power alone. A mountain lion doesn't have that same jaw power. A hyena would crush your skull with a single chomp. All you have to do with a hyena or with a mountain lion, and I'm not saying a big mountain lion. I'm saying like a smaller female mountain lion, not like a big 250-pound mountain lion. I'm saying like 140-pound female mountain lion.
I don't know.
I would watch that though. I mean, I would live stream that, Tyson.
I'm definitely getting injured. I'm so many stitches, sutures, all of it. But man, the tales I could tell. And this is a common thing. People fight off mountain lions a lot of times. There are people that get killed by mountain lions. Yes. I mean, it happens every year where a dude's like, I was out hiking and a mountain lion attacked me and I fought it off and it ran screeching as I jammed my thumbs into its eyes.
But this is different. This isn't just like scare it off and it's like, okay, you know what? This isn't worth the
this is like in a cage match. Are we in a cage match?
You can't leave. Yeah,
you're
can't
both
escape.
locked in and until one of you has like a foot on the chest, standing there with your hands on your hips. Okay.
I think so.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to start looking up videos of this. There's a video from Nat Geo called Mountain Lion versus Bighorn. It is 45 minutes long. So this is what I'll be doing tonight after the pod.
You got plans?
I'd rather fight a mountain lion than a bighorn.
Really?
Yeah, I think Bighorn would
smash your innards to smithereens within like 2 or 3 direct hits. Angelina, what are you fighting?
Shatter you.
Oh God, no, not me, you guys. I mean, I see a bee and I start screaming. Like I was at my daughter's swim lessons last year, and a bee starts to attack my head, and I'm not kidding. I literally almost jumped in the pool just to escape the bee. And I think the instructor was like, "Is this mom okay? Like, is she right?" And I'm like, "I'm mostly right. It's okay." Anyways, I did not get bitten. No, I mean, my neighbor has chickens. I'm scared of the chickens. I don't know. I don't want to get pecked. I don't think I really have a dog in this ring. I'm not the one. If they come for me, they're gonna get me. They're gonna get a good meal.
I don't want to go in a chicken coop either for that reason. But
no,
like,
they're
if
weird.
you're like locking me in a pen and saying, what can you really, if you had to for your life, battle in a ring, and you have to go with the biggest thing, Riley, what are you choosing?
Are we killing them in this scenario? Or are we just like pinning them down like a wrestler?
No, we're pinning them down. We're just like
PETA,
for
we're
us
not,
long enough to
this
unlock.
Is just good. Okay,
this is them attacking us, and we're in self-defense, and we're catching and releasing after we release ourselves from the cage.
I don't want PETA coming after us. I'm a vegetarian. All right. I'm not the one.
No furs in this house.
Maybe I could get like a goat or something, like something not too aggressive, not too crazy. You know, I'm gonna be honest. Maybe like a mini pony or
like
a goat,
domesticated,
a domesticated. It's not really. I mean, I'm just, I'm trying my best over here.
It's hard to feel bad though.
I would feel bad.
Riley?
No, yeah, I don't like to hurt animals.
Well, this is easy. Blue whale. On land, I have the advantage.
Oh, the largest animal.
That's
found it.
Such a cop out.
Yeah.
You can be letting him flop around like that. Poor blue whale.
I guess
if
you
it's
could
not on land, I'm screwed.
You could then go with like a cow or something because that's bigger than a mountain lion. Yeah, you're right.
As a blue whale.
Not as big as a blue whale.
That orca would get you though. You go in whales on land, that orca would still get you.
Killer whales.
It would
the orca would still get you. You've seen where they slither up onto the beach to snag those baby seals.
They know. They're mad.
Yeah.
Have you seen Blackfin?
Okay. Riley. I have. Riley big brained it. Ashleigh, do you got an answer for us?
I mean, I'm scared of bees as well. So I have to put that in consideration on.
But I bet you've squashed a bee before.
Oh my God, no, absolutely not. That they're here to save the world. Have you ever seen Bee Movie?
Yeah,
they're here to save the world, man. Can't kill bees. But
pollinators.
Also, I'm just terrified of bees. But I think maybe like a joey, like like the little kangaroo.
Little kangaroo, or like not even a kangaroo, but a wallaby. Are you thinking a wallaby?
Yes, a wallaby. Yeah.
Okay.
I could do a wallaby. I could beat him up. just hand to hand like boxing.
Those big kangaroos are so ripped. They have so many muscles.
Mm-hmm.
Like I've seen pictures of those and the old timey fighter guys boxing a kangaroo. That would be hard. But a wallaby,
I could do a wallaby.
Yeah, maybe. Okay. Well, let us know in the chat what animal you're going to beat up. And let's get into the rest of the episode. We pretty much have an opening with Mitch trying to make a move finally. Angelina, is there anything Mitch can do to like get some footing? He's trying to get the old Siva back together. I don't feel like he's reading any of the lines at all anywhere.
I feel like we're not seeing a lot of Mitch. I feel like there's way more to Mitch going on because he gives me like prom king vibes. Like Mitch is that guy that you went to high school with that everyone loved. And I think he actually was this guy because I have one of my best friends like actually did go to high school with him in Waco, Texas. And she was like, everyone loves Mitch. He's incredible. So like, I think of anyone, if he could kind of like squeak out and pull something together in this next episode at the 9, it's Mitch. And I think especially because
so you're in high school. Let's say you're in high school with Mitch and Kyle. Who are you voting for prom king?
Who do you think? This is not even a question.
Oh, is it not? Mitch? Mitch all the way?
Mitch all the way. Who would you vote
Mitch
for?
all the way for prom king. I mean, I think there's a competition here until Kyle started really going at it with David. But I mean, there's some prom king material on this season. We've got Joe. He's a prom king. David's the prom king that nobody really likes. He's the one that's like the quarterback that he's not the quarterback that wins and just by default. Yeah, he wins by default. Nobody really wanted him to, but him and his girlfriend win again after they won last year as juniors, and it pisses everybody off.
Oh my God, I'm so sorry, guys. My dog is wiling out. There's always got to be one of them, right? The kids are gone, and now the puppy's going crazy. Let me put him in the garage because he's just like being.
We can't really hear him.
Are you? He's okay in the room.
It's up to you. We can't. Hear
I'm
him.
fine. I wasn't sure if his little like. See, I can't beat an animal.
No.
I can't even control my 9-month-old puppy. Like this is like not. This is not a good match. No, look, I want to go to prom with Kyle, but I would vote for Mitch for prom king. That's the difference, right? But I'll work with both of them. I mean, yeah, no, there's gonna be big riffs. I think they tease it at the end of this episode. It's like I think next episode is where we start to really see the dismantling of this like strong people alliance. What do they have a name? Do they have like an official name?
Strong People Alliance, Integrity Alliance, Strong Five.
Strong Five.
It was the Strong Five.
6.
Now it's the Strong Six with Mary, but only David gets to choose who's the sixth of the Strong, which is like.
Have we ever heard a better alliance name in the history of Survivor? I mean, didn't they name their tribe? What did they name their merch tribe? Milk or something like that? Is that
in
true?
Chinese though. Yeah.
Oh, because that makes it, that makes it better. Yeah, that makes it a lot more elevated right there. It's like saying Tarjay. Yeah, same. So
yeah, it's like getting peace in Chinese on your lower back.
They couldn't have done like
tattoo.
Fuerte. We had the Good Alliance name with the California girls. Like that was, I loved them.
That was great.
And then now we're left here and they're like, we're Strong Five. Like, come on, if you're going to be the Strong Five, like at least come up with a little creativity. Okay, you're confirming our bias. Yeah, come on. There's so much you can do. Fuerte 5. Like, come on. Like, guys, I know they're smart. There's brains up there. There's not just brawn, but I don't know about the creativity on that group. They might struggle with that a little bit.
I don't mind watching people with alliance names, but I don't like being a part of it where they're like, we're the knights in shining armor. And I'm like, I don't want to be a part of that. I don't want to be a part of any alliance that has a name.
You'd rather be like a Strong Five.
No, I'd just rather be like the group. This is the group. I don't need someone to put a label on it because that to me is almost as annoying as someone who has a passion for something.
I understand. What do you do when your kids try to play with you?
What do you mean?
When your kids are like, Dad, you are this role and you're going to do this. Like, do they like do that to you where you get an assigned role and then you have to like
playing pretend. Yeah. We were watching a movie and Bergen, my 9-year-old's always like, I get to be the best character in the movie. And my 6-year-old's like, I guess I'll be the second best one again. Or the 6-year-old be like, I'm going to be the best one. And the 9-year-old's like, no, you're not. I am. I'm the horse. I get to be the horse in the movie. You have to be the ugly cat.
Dude, siblings.
And I'm like,
sibling life.
Yeah.
Wait, so your kids, do you just have the 2 or do you have,
Yeah.
Don't you have 3?
2 girls.
2
No.
girls. Okay, I have 2 girls.
A lot of people
as
think
well.
I do because I'm like America's dad, but I only have 2.
Your third child is the United States.
Is America. Yeah.
Tyson, you can be my president any day for sure, please.
I should have ran when I was 35. It was so crazy. And I was like the right age to just get in there and be like, hey, let's not vote for old people this time.
Yeah, wait, what are you talking about? You got like 30, 40 more years before you're even eligible.
I know, but at 35, it just would have been such an easy sell to college kids to just be like,
You're still
I know
a
how to
young
use a
buck.
smartphone. I understand technology. Yeah. I could. You think I should?
Maybe
I'll get
Tyson.
on the ballot next time.
Okay.
May as well. If I
You heard it here
else
first.
will.
Hey, you talked about putting big moves into the ether.
This
Tyson,
is big.
Tyson is running for something. All right, first Survivor, then pickleball, then podcast. Hey, now he's your president. Okay, it's not the first time we've had a reality TV star up there. Let's do it.
Yeah, upward trajectory. I like it. Do you like Eva here targeting Chrissy so hard early in this episode? I kind of thought it was going to go bad for her, but now it just seems like everybody was like whatever with it. They were cool.
Was going to do
is that going to do her any damage, or is she going to get too confident? Is she already showing this confidence and it's going to be her downfall?
I think Eva feels very comfortable, right? I mean, she's got her alliance. Yeah. She's got a strong number 1. She's strong herself physically. I think that she, I think she's playing a strong game, but too strong of a game, right? It's like the people who make it to the end, we're not always the best players. We're usually not the best players. We're just scrappier, right? And we're like a little bit less good. And so we're able to get in there,
I think you're doing yourself a disservice by saying you're not the best players.
Oh, me?
The best players in Survivor. Yeah, because the best players in Survivor aren't necessarily the best people in, like you're saying, okay, these guys are the best because they're big, strong, muscly dudes, but strategically they're maybe not the best. They're definitely not the best if they're so open with this alliance that's going to topple. And so
Facts.
I have always been of the opinion that while the most talented people don't always make it to the end of the game, the best players who have been the best in the circumstances they were dealt usually do go far.
That's an excellent differentiation. Yeah, you're I love that. Thank you. Yeah, it's like it's almost like your star. If your star shines too bright, you're gonna burn out. Like totally. And like Eva, she's shining way too bright. Yeah, there's no way.
But you can block this. You can block the brightness if you're a clever enough player.
You have to. It's image mitigation, and she's just and she's playing the game that she can. She probably feels really good. She probably feels really excited. I think Joe probably feels the same way. Like, oh man, like we got this. We got our alliance. We got our people. We're strong. We're winning immunities. Like, but I think this next episode is going to be the dismantling of that for sure. I'm excited.
I'm so excited. It almost happened.
It was close.
I mean, that's what as a viewer you always want. Yes,
of course.
It was close.
I did love, like, I've been fascinated by this, like, Kyle Camilla secret relationship alliance. To me, it's like, obviously we all know the more secret something is in the game, the more powerful it is. And, there's one category of that, idle advantages, and then there's relationships. It's much harder, and I'm sure Tyson could speak to this, having played so many times. It's much harder to keep a relationship secret because you're together the whole time. And, like, you're tempted to, like, go chat with your person and, like, spend, just kind of refill your cup. But like, you have to have a lot of self-control to keep it under wraps when you are around everyone 24/7. And trust. Yes. Because it's like, you really have to be like, we haven't been spending that time. Like, are we really still number ones? And so it's a big trust fall. It's the biggest trust fall. And this episode, I feel, put that to the test. And Kyle, he's in a vulnerable spot now. Things are going to shift. Like, he definitely kind of added, not intentionally, but like it outed his relationship in some ways because it was fishy to the other people. Like, why does it matter so much to him? Like, just break up, like, let's just break her off. Why are you having this reaction? So, I mean, David, for all, we can get into David in a little bit, but like he's like to me when I listen to him and see him, he's definitely like a nerd in a strong body. Like he's, like it's like usually when you see someone who's like that big, it's like he's got some stuff going on up there, more going on up there than you would think just by looking at him. Would I want to work with him? No, I think he would drive me crazy. He reminded me of some people who played on my season that it didn't work out well with. But it's fascinating. It's gonna crumble in a second.
Yeah, I think David wants to control it. Yeah, David wants to control so hard, and Kyle's trying his hardest to passively protect Camilla by implanting the idea in other people's heads that it would be best to not go at Camilla. And David is just like, no, it's my way or the highway. So he's defending his stance, but he's pretty aggressive with it. And and it's like, why is it okay for David to have Mary in the strong 6, but it's not okay for Kyle to have Camilla? And Kyle's not even pitching Camilla to be in the strong 6. He's just like, Camilla's okay for our game. And this part of the conversation where David was like, we don't need any more people. Wrong. That is when you leave people out, that is when they flip the game on their head. You want every vote to be as close to anonymous or to as close to unanimous as possible. Because then mathematically you come back, you have less damage control, you have less chance for people to flop the game on their head. So David is definitely in the wrong here by not saying, yeah, we should pull in all the numbers we can for as long as we can. That's the play. Amen. That's always the play.
Spoken like a true Survivor winner, Tyson. You dropping that knowledge. Look at you. Write a book. I'll read it.
You got to. I don't think I'm legally allowed to write a book.
Really? Is that part of like the...
That's part of the contract. 5 years after the end of the series.
How long has it been since 40?
The series.
What are we at now?
The whole series?
End of the series.
Oh, the
end of the entire series.
Huh.
Once Survivor ends, I have to wait 5 years so Jeff can squirt out all his books first.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Is he just out there squirting out books? You think he's going to be squirting out books? Angelina, how many books do you think he's going to squirt out?
The verb usage is just really getting me. Just the visual
squirting
there.
out them books.
What's the rating on this podcast? Where are we at? PG. I need to
we usually
understand
mark
my
it because I say, yeah, you can say the F word right now, and that will automatically put it to E, and then you can say whatever we want.
So the rating is just reflected on the guest.
No, I could say it. I could say it, but I let you lead into it, and then I will be a waterfall that a dam is
this a family show? I mean, look, I'm from Reno, Tyson. You know this. We met in Reno, by the way. We gotta bring the people in. We gotta let them know. Tyson and I have met in person in my hometown of Reno, Nevada, when he was running it up.
Airing.
Okay, wait, but not only my season. What episode did we watch together in Reno, Nevada?
The jacket episode.
Jacket Gate.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
it was together in a giant group of people.
I was, and I had
CBS's Instagram. I was doing CBS's Survivor's Instagram live. Yeah,
you were live on that. Takeover. I was sitting next to Rob Mariano. The Run It Up Reno poker was there, and then Rob had a podcast was there, and it was like, and then it was in my hometown. It was just kind of like the universe conspiring. It wasn't like anyone really planned this. It's just how the dates happened. But I feel like truly in my heart, like my jankiest episode in my biggest little city that I love, but is a bit of a janky city too. You know, I'm be honest, I'm from Nevada. I could say it. You couldn't have orchestrated that better. It was too much. It was just too much.
Yeah, it was a very fun time.
What are you doing? No, that was a good time. Anyways, I just had to bring the people in to let them know, like, you know, we go back. Yeah. We go way back.
And we are a family podcast. We have kids that listen here, but you know, like those words are out there. Squirting books out doesn't mean anything to someone that's not at the age to understand. And it doesn't even make sense to us. It's just getting stuff out quickly.
Just, you know, banging it out.
What do you think of this? Just banging it out. What do you think of this tree mail where you got to split up into pairs? What is the play here? Because everybody had a little bit different approach to splitting into pairs. What are you doing?
I'm letting people decide what they. I'm chilling. I'm whatever. What are we doing? Look, I know myself. I have a tendency to I love control like the next person, but I think in this context and this episode, actually, I think really one of the through lines for me in this episode was examining control, right? So it's like David's sense of control, Joe and wanting control of how these people were paired. And I think we're at the point in the game where the players who can relinquish control when they know they need to strategically are going to get deeper. And the players that cannot let go of control, that's going to be their demise. So it shows this necessity of flexibility in the game. And it's easier said than done, especially on this side of from this side of the world where we're fed and rested. And like when you're out of your mind and hungry and it's bam, 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 and you're kind of in it and you're in a tunnel, it's so hard. It's so easy to kind of like let your better demons take over. And those voices that are like, we all have these tracks and these tracks are like, you need to do this or you need to whatever, influence your internal self. But yeah, control is, I think, one of the main themes of this episode in particular. And for the tribe picking, people were like, dude, no, like, let's pick who we want. But then they ended up kind of like self-selecting into these pairs that were more evenly matched, right? Like none of the two strong guys matched up to dominate or like, they still tried to make it kind of this feeling of fairness, and not randomness. We're not going to pull straws. We're not going to pull numbers, but we're going to try to like make the matchups where it's anyone's game. Except for maybe with the exception of Joe and Eva, who were, to me, the pair that was like the strongest. And then look, they made it all the way to the end, to be in the final four group. But I don't know. What was your take on it? What did you think? How would you have played it if you were there?
I mean, I liked it. But as I was watching it, you're damned if you do and you're damned if you don't. Because you're like, okay, I'm going to choose my greatest ally. Everybody's going to see that. Great, we're a pair. Joe and Eva, we're a pair. That just solidifies it even more that we're a threat. But then you also get people who are like Shaheen, who's like, I'm going to go with Camilla. And then everybody's like, oh, they're working together. And it's like, even if you chose your enemy in that moment, people would be like, huh. Now what's their play? Like everybody's suspicious of whatever decision anybody makes, and they come up with their own narrative in their head about why you selected it. And all it's doing, it's production's design to create mistrust amongst everyone. And if these things didn't happen, maybe the strong 5 or strong 6 do make a much deeper run more often on Survivor. But it's like these little things where it's like, you got to draw some lines, and maybe you're trying to not draw lines, but because you're trying to not draw lines, people are imagining lines that don't even exist. And now you're all of a sudden a target because they think you have secret side hustles that you don't even have. And that's what I thought was beautiful about this.
Who is she?
Everybody's read was different. Yeah. Who is she and why?
Oh my God. One time my husband's like literally the most trustworthy person on the planet. I have zero concerns about him. But one time I was having a hard day and I'm like,
more trustworthy than Shaheen? Because he's 1010% trustworthy.
Way more trustworthy than Shaheen. But I look at his car location and it's the middle of the day and he's at a hotel. He's at a like a Marriott in Mission Valley, which is like 20 minutes from our house. And I text him. I'm like, what are you doing at the Marriott? It's 2 p.m. And he goes, I'm with my girlfriend. And I was like, shut up. He was in some work meeting, whatever. But it's the same thing in this, right? It's like they pair up and then you're like, who are you texting?
Yeah.
You're going to look at their phone when they're in the shower.
He said they're going to be asleep. With his girlfriend, but he's now, maybe that's a layer on a layer and he really is with a girlfriend. But if he says he's with his girlfriend, then I won't believe.
Yeah. He made it worse too when Jeff was like, why did you choose her? And he like tried to like really play it down like too much. Like you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like he was trying to be sly, but it's like, you're not sly. We know everything's strategic. It's okay. You're trying to like get an in. You're trying to pull her into your world. Be another vote for you. We know what it is. But yeah, it's of course, production does it in order to create this wonder.
Yeah.
And people are in the point of the game where they're really starting to like be paranoid to the max.
Yeah. They know that they need to get through and then get through with the people. Otherwise, they're going to have to be on the bottom and scramble. Chrissy's idea, honestly, is what I would have pushed for, just the randomness. I was like, keep my lines blurred as long as possible. Don't let anybody read into any decisions I make. Let's just make it random. Like Chrissy said, choose 1 to 5 or whatever. And but that got shot down really quick because Joe was like, I want to take the game into my own hands. It's like, haven't you guys been doing that? Like, what?
I just got to say something about Chrissy. Can we talk? I want to make sure we get a lot of good time on this because this Chrissy and David conflict and Chrissy in general, right? Chrissy, because look, and people know this about me. I'm a feminist queen. I cannot help but look through things through that lens. And Chrissy, as you know, an older lady, she's not old, but like for the show and for the cast, she's a little bit older and she's a woman. And the perception from David that she was like getting mad or getting worked up or saying that he couldn't be in the alliance he's in, like his read on her when she was being literally the calmest, coolest, like matter of fact person at Tribal. It's so frustrating when that happens. Like when you're out there and you're trying to speak up and just like convey a message. And this is not just Survivor, right? This happens in every space, right? And that's why Survivor's so fascinating because it's like as women, I'm sure, you know, Ashleigh probably has had this experience too, where it's like you're at a table and you're literally just stating facts, but it's read differently because of who you are. And it's like, it's so frustrating. So I was frustrated watching it for Chrissy because I'm like, bro, she's literally saying it as calm as possible. And you're having this reaction. Your reaction is stronger than what she's saying. Like you're the one freaking out. She's not
Chrissy
freaking out.
won the argument, but David believes he won the argument. That's also like David is certain that he won the argument because his points were better. And Chrissy was just like, I'm playing the game that I'm here now playing. I'm telling you, I'm not inside your thing. So I have to, this is my counter to that. And he's like, why can't we be together?
And she wasn't saying that he couldn't. She was saying, let's dismantle it because it's a threat.
She was
but you
saying,
would say that about any sort of group
I'm not in
of 5 or 6 at this point in the game. Like, David. David.
Yes.
I think in his mind, he's like, and we all do this, right? We're the stars of our own show. And that's, you know, and that, you know, it's part of the ego that goes with being like a Survivor player. But like David in particular, he just really is giving off like this like vibe that he thinks he's already the sole survivor and he's just working backwards. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like, no, bro.
It's
no.
It was funny. I did in that moment too at Tribal Council. I was like, good for you, Chrissy, because he was getting pretty aggro about it and like, well, why can't the strong dudes pair up for a change? Nobody gets riled up when any other grouping happens. And I was like, nobody's getting riled up. Chrissy is just battling the opposition because she's not in it. And she like stated that. She's like, I don't care about what happened in past seasons. I'm here on this season right now battling. That was such a good line.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is she from Minnesota? Where's her accent? What is she? She's like Minnesotan, right? Or am I wrong?
Midwest for sure. I don't know.
Yeah.
Just the salt of the earth.
She was so nice about it. She was so nice about it. I was like,
and
David.
She kept her cool even when David got all ramped up. And Joe's also losing it a little bit. He got all wild-eyed too.
Yeah. Oh, I know. Yeah. I know.
She's from Chicago.
She's from Chicago.
The south side of Chicago.
Yeah.
Okay, girl. I like it. That's why I like her. The Obama side, baby.
Yeah. So she, I think she put up a great fight and made good points, but she was loose-lipped in a time when she does not have the numbers to be so. Even after doing she did some damage control at the start of the episode. She was like, you guys know I'm just talking shit, right? It's no thing. And then she goes back. She's like, never mind. I'm going to do it again.
Yeah. No, there's no such thing as like, oh, I was just saying that. Like it an example from my season, which I still, okay. So like on my season, and we all fuck up. So like I did this thing. It was towards the end. I was trying to like make Kara look worse to the jury. And Kara knew exactly what I was doing. I was like talking shit about her making rice all day. I was like, I was out looking for an idol and Kara was making rice. Oh, the rice was delicious, by the way. Like such a bitch move. And like Kara and I are best friends now. Like literally, we both live in San Diego. She helped, she was our realtor for this house I'm sitting in that we own. Like we were
Weren't
close.
you actresses together?
Oh, co-stars, baby. Co-stars on the white lotus. How did I forget? How did I forget?
Yep. 1.5
so
seasons.
I adore Kara. But we look back on this moment because like we went back to camp and she was furious, pissed, so pissed. I've never still to this day seen Kara that mad ever. Like she doesn't really get, anyway, she was pissed. She wouldn't even talk to me. She's like, I can't even talk. I can't even look at you. Like, I know exactly what you did. And I try to be like, oh, I wasn't doing anything. But it's like, clearly I was, you know what I mean? It's like, so it's like, you could try to walk things back, but it's so hard. It's like, what you say in tribal council is definitely taken at face value. So like, you got to be really careful about what you say and when you say it. And yeah, Chrissy didn't have the luxury of saying what she said there. And it's so enticing though, because Jeff and the fire and you're kind of tired and they lull you in and then you just talk and you can't see any cameras.
Well, and he forces you sometimes. Sometimes he also is like, no, I need a straighter answer. Tyson, you've been dancing around this all season long.
He'll say that to you? I haven't heard him say that before.
Oh, yeah. He'll get, if
Tyson,
you're just
give
giving
it to
him
me
like,
straight.
Yeah.
Yeah,
like,
he doesn't want the
Tyson,
bullshit.
I will eviscerate you if you don't give me a straight answer. Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. I mean, you can try again and be a little more direct. Sometimes they need that directness. Sometimes they want it. Sometimes, people skirt the question so hard. There was a moment where Tina was like not reading the room at all. And Jeff gave her like 3 tries and finally was like, you got one more try, Tina. You've been up here 4 different times. Like if you can't figure it out, I can't keep giving you more chances to figure it out. Like we're just going to vote and you're going to go home. Like figure it out. Like I'm giving you an option and an opportunity. Yeah.
Wait, did he do this on Winners at War at all?
Winners at War. I don't know if he did it on Winners.
Because I wonder if this is more of an old school Jeff.
He did it on Blood versus Water for sure, and I've seen him do it on.
I haven't seen. Well, I didn't see. I mean, I was 7 years ago, so it was a bit of time. But like on our season, yeah, he wasn't like that. So I don't know. But you have more data.
Well, some people,
So
more data points. Some people really, really skirt it to the point that they're not even answering the question he asked. And that's when he is like, I need an answer. Like, you're not even answering the question I asked. Like, give me an answer. And that's sometimes enough to scare people into like being too open. And it is like he does lull you in. Yeah. And he just lulls you out over the course of 2 or 3 hours to get the sound bites that they need. And then people are reading into those. And tribal council is honestly the one time where if anything direct is really being said, you have to read into it. Like all the other times you're like, was that a misdirect that it was so direct in camp in front of everybody? Like what is going on? You can't take everything. And a tribal council under that pressure, like Chrissy saying that, there's no part of me if I'm in the group of Fantastic Five or whatever they call themselves. There's no part of me that's like, oh, she was just, giving Jeff what he wanted. I'm like, she has to go. Like she is onto us. She's openly targeting us. Let's get her. Immunity challenge.
Yes.
How do you like this? They break into 3 separate groups. We get tacos with beans and rice. I think I wouldn't put any rice on the tacos at this point. I would just be
pure
like,
protein.
I've had enough. I've had enough rice. Do you like this breakup of splitting the big group into smaller groups?
You mean the breaking up the challenge or breaking up the players?
Yeah, breaking up the
not
breaking up
being
the players
in
in pairs, but having
places.
the losers go to
a
journey, having the middle pair in purgatory, and having the winners scarf tacos.
And they went to tribal council that very night, right?
And they went to tribal council that night.
Yeah. Ooh, that gives me anxiety just thinking about it. Because the time between the challenge and tribal, it goes by so fast. And to have everyone in their own little pockets, like, that's just, as a player, it makes me feel anxious. As a viewer, it's interesting, right? It's like, it makes things more complicated, more dynamic, more things to consider. Who's where, who's talking to who has what, who doesn't have their vote.
It randomly breaks up the groups, so they don't get to choose like who they're being with in that moment. So it forces you to have conversations you maybe wouldn't have.
And I do like it for what it did this episode with Camilla's name rising, right? I don't know if they hadn't been in different places, I don't know if Camilla her name would have come up so clearly. And then the panic of coming back, for Kyle and being like trying to do what he could to like get her name off the block. I think if they hadn't been broken up like they were, I don't think we would have seen that. And I think that that's going to be a pivotal part of the remainder of the season too. So, I mean, I do like that it keeps them on their toes, right? And like that is the part of the new era that I like is the unpredictability because it forces everyone to stay a little bit more limber.
Yeah. Do you think that Kyle maybe being going on the journey with Camilla instead of being kind of present at camp, would we have seen Camilla go? What saved Camilla? Was it that Kyle was in and fought hard, or was it that Chrissy just couldn't keep her mouth shut?
Both. Definitely a combination of both. Probably more Kyle. At least that's what, I was reading from the episode. I think if that relationship with Kyle didn't exist, Camilla would have been out today. 100%. She would have been gone. Yeah. That was her advantage this episode. And I think it's going to carry them. I foresee in next episode them bringing together and rising up and taking down these big folks, the strong folks.
Yeah. The Fantastic Five, now Six. Is that a cool name?
Tyson, would you consider you're a challenge beast? Would you self-identify as like one of the strong folks or one of the, where would you kind of put yourself in that spectrum?
I mean, I'm pretty fluid, honestly. I'm pretty wiry. I'm good at challenges, but I'm not physically threatening if you look at me, other than I'm tall. But
are you a runner? I feel like you have kind of a runner's physique.
I ran. I swam in college. I was a pro cyclist. I did a lot of endurance-y stuff. So, I think I would probably work my way into this group because they're the majority right now. Mm-hmm. But I wouldn't be married to it. And I'm also like, David's not looking at me, maybe on a season like this, but usually like the strong guys aren't looking at me and be like, Tyson's a strong guy too, bring him in. Like these arms are like, look at, I can overlap on my wrist. But they're deceiving. My fingers.
They're deceiving. Yeah.
Yeah. Danny that played in the NFL was on the challenge with me, was like, you're definitely, he told me this and I take it as a compliment because he was in the NFL. He said, you are definitely way stronger than you look. After he did a couple challenges with me in the challenge, he was like, you are so much stronger than you look. And I was like, I think that's a compliment, but also that is a kind of not a compliment on my looks. So it's a compliment on my strength, but on my the way I look, it's definitely an insult.
You got a slim build. So, you're slim, you're slim strong.
I like being slim.
Yeah.
I'm slim strong. Yeah. I like being slim strong. Yeah. I would work my way in here, but I think I would also have I would be more like a Kyle, maybe even a Shaheen, where I'm working between the groups and pulling the underdogs and being like, should we flip it on these guys? But also I'm good enough at challenges that I'm not scared like of David beating me in a challenge or something like that. Like to me, those strong guys, if they're like protecting the strong and that's the way it goes, I'm like, oh, good. Because in the end, I'm the best challenge person of the people here. So I'm going to be great. And,
you are. Did you ever do the poll? Did you ever have to hold on to the poll in your life?
I did. I won it once on Token Tunes.
Okay.
But it was a different poll. And then I did it on Winners at War
made sure
in
to
the
let
rain.
People know they don't got as many inches for their feet.
They don't. And I even said that because we talked about the records last week and how the record really is only dependent on the second place person. But also, somebody did in the comments say the challenges are built a little different too each time. And I said, yeah, that's right. I forgot to even mention that. It was Mike Holloway who said that. And I was like, yeah, that is true. Those are built differently. And then some Twitter follower was like, they're built the same way every fucking time, you idiot. And I was like, no, they're not. So here we are talking to that person who got super aggressive on Twitter, who's never been on Survivor, who will never be on Survivor because I have his handle. I've submitted it to casting. It's linked to his email.
College,
Blacklist, baby.
Are not, And anyways, the challenges are built different. And this poll that they were on is so much harder. It just lends itself to a different build, a different strength, genre, whatever.
Yeah.
It's not to say
How
that
long
one's
did
harder
you stay
or
on
easier.
yours? Do you remember?
I don't know, 30 or 40 minutes maybe
That's
for the
a
first
long
one.
time.
But the second one at Winners at War was a pull more akin to this. I did not last very long at all.
It's tough.
And because this one you have to bear hug and wrap around. The one I was
they
on
made
in
the poles like
Tocantins,
thicker too.
Yes.
Like weren't they? Yeah. Like
yeah,
that's a
way
big
thicker.
like because they talk about the toe holds, but then the other thing is like you used to be able to wrap yourself more around them.
Shouldn't the pole be like thickness be kind of like it corresponding
Based
to
on
your
your
wingspan?
They try
Right?
to do that
Mm.
in a lot of challenges, but this, you're right. There could be some advantage to having a longer or shorter wingspan based on your leverage of gripping the pole with your hockey thighs.
How do you get up there?
Ladder.
They give you a ladder. Okay.
They pop a ladder up there. You climb up. You stand up there. Jeff says, "Okay, on the count of 5, we're going to all latch on. We're going to have
100-foot
production
ladder.
person pull the ladder away.
Get them right
And
up.
then if you fall, that's on you. Don't fall. Slide down when you give up. Do not drop. We've seen people drop. I think Andrea dropped from a pretty high height and buckled her knees pretty good. Was okay.
Yeah.
But like they are like, don't drop. I had one. So on Tocantins, it was like a really thin pole with like triangle notches all the way down it, all the way around it. And all I had to do was get in like this squat position and then hold on. I could hold on with one arm and just lean back. It was super easy, but not everybody could get in that flexible of a position. So it was more about the flexibility to do that than the grip strength. And I was going to let the second place person win who was in my alliance. So I climbed down and she was like, "I don't want to win this way." So I climbed all the way back up. And at that point, she was like, "Oh, I can't beat him. He's just climbing up and down this thing like a monkey."
He's just
and
being
I was,
a cat. Yeah.
Like, to be fair, I was a fucking badass back then. And then I win and Jeff's like, "You won." And I'm just like shaking the pole with one arm, like riding on it kind of. And Jeff's like, "If that falls, it's on you, Tyson." So I stopped and climbed down.
Such a showboat.
Wait, what do you mean it's on you? Like if it like you're gonna have to put it back together?
Like if you hurt yourself, it's on you. Like yeah.
Sure.
Like if you get crushed by that pole, there's no liability.
Yeah.
Lawyers watch.
Yeah, exactly.
Sign this waiver.
I said it for everybody. So yeah. So the poll was different. I was pretty ashamed. Even Matt Van Wagenen texted me on the poll challenge and was like, 35 seconds. Because I really did. I don't remember what I lasted on Winners at War, but it was not long. And also weather plays into it. Sand. Like I was wearing shorts and it was wet outside and there was sand on my thighs. And so gripping it and sliding down with that sand on your skin was also no bueno. I would wear pants. If I were to do this challenge on that pole again, I would wear pants.
Look at that. Take notes, future players.
Take notes, yeah.
But not the Twitter guy. Not that Twitter guy. You're not going Twitter guy.
Nope, he's not ever getting on. Already clocked him.
Mm-hmm.
Do you like it when Probst is talking, or is it a distraction? Is it
I like it. I like the banter with Probst. I like bantering with Probst. Yeah. Angelina, she sighs. She doesn't like it.
Okay, so for me, I thought about this when I was watching, because it obviously came up. It depends on what you're doing. So if it's a pure like endurance thing, I like the banter because it's distracting. But if what you're doing requires a little bit more focus, it's annoying. Like it's horrible. Like I remember we had a couple kind of more like focused where you need that like really just like deep concentration. And we pick spots, right? He always says, "Oh, we'll draw for spots." They don't show it on the TV because no one needs to see that. But like, I remember drawing for spots on challenges that required focus and like wanting to be in the spot furthest away from Jeff's body. Like get me as far away as possible from him. Cause it's like, it can really break your focus. And he talks shit the whole time, especially like, for people who aren't as challenged beasts as Tyson, where it's like, "Angelina's slipping up." You know what I mean? It's like, yeah, I know. I can't do this very well.
Have you seen that edit of you?
Oh, yeah.
Have you seen that
what is it?
of you?
What are they? It's so funny. I showed it to my husband.
And Angelina, what the fuck is she even doing? I don't even. Yeah.
I literally though, like, why did I put it in my mouth? Like, oh my God, I actually just posted a video of my daughter on my Instagram doing this. Okay, there's just so many like full circle moments in my life. Like so I have a 5-year-old and a 2-year-old, and my 5-year-old is now at the age where like she's doing monkey bars. She's just so physically capable. And we were at the park literally yesterday, and she's doing this like ropes thing, and I was like, I just in my mind was thinking about going on those ropes and that ropes challenge and like struggling. Like literally, I think like if you gif like struggle, like it's me. So the things you never anticipate being known for, in life, here we are.
Yeah.
But yeah, she just totally knocked it out, like easy day. And I just was like, all right, you go, girl, you go.
You were so proud.
Get daddy's genes, right? Like he was an athlete. I couldn't even make like the club team. So like, here we are. So yeah, she's on her way. Go, Sophia. she should go after it. But yeah, no, it's so funny.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, they're going to eventually do a kids version of Survivor. Well, all of our kids once they're old enough.
Okay,
That'll
wait.
happen. It'll happen in 20 years.
Okay, so this theme for 50, like in the hands of the fans.
With a D on the end of fans. Yes.
Oh. Wait, D on the end of fans. Wait, why can't
because it has to rhyme perfectly. We changed it to putting a D on the end of fans so that it rhymes.
Fans,
because
to make it actually rhyme.
Fans.
Well, here's my take on it.
Rhyme.
Here's my take on it. Speaking of kids, okay. I think that marketing, CBS marketing, listen up. I want them to do in the hands of the crayons, and you give kids a crayon and the thing to vote on, and they circle what they want for the season in the hands of the crayons. All right, not the fans, the crayons, just the kids. Let the kids decide.
In the hands of the crayons. It's like that Simpsons episode where they let Homer Simpson build a car.
Exactly. But it would be so random. Like nothing would make sense, right? Like if the fans vote, like we kind of know, like, oh, they're gonna probably do this and this because, like, you kind of have a pulse on people, but not everything, but some things. It's like, okay, is there gonna be a live finale in LA? We know where we're going with that. Come on, fans.
Yeah.
But if it's children, we don't know what they're gonna choose. They're gonna color on the wall, and then they're gonna choose some random thing, in the hands of the crayons. Truly random.
In the hands of the crayons. Season 51.
Honoring the next generation. All right.
Yes.
Honoring the folks who are going to play on season 100 when Jeff is,
And changing
90.
this year. You can apply at 6 years old.
Exactly.
It'd be pretty great if they got a bunch of kids of former survivors and they'd all be like over 18 or whatever, but they still like make it a children's themed season. Like all the challenges, like you gotta stack these blocks.
So you think like
and then you gotta like
do better
use your
than us at some
to
of
vote.
them. I'm telling you, these kids, they're bright.
The chatter at the challenge, I like it. I'm a multitasker in my brain. So I like doing the challenge while I hear Jeff like belittling somebody because
he's probably not belittling you.
Like, Tyson being stupid. Yeah, he's not.
Because you're doing so well. He goes after us who are struggling. And he's
and I love that. I love hearing it.
Yeah, I'm that person though.
What I love more is when he's saying it and the person doesn't realize it's them. Like on Blood versus Water again, and not to, like fire too much at Tina, but we went out, we got these, you had to swim out, go down, untie like these things underwater, baskets or something, and bring them back. And she swam out, untied them, but left them there, didn't bring the baskets back. And Jeff even was like, Tina forgetting her baskets, swimming back. She just kept swimming. She's like, and she's back, but she didn't bring the basket. And she goes up on the mat and he's like, and Tina back on the mat and the whole time Tina's just like, I did the swimming pretty good. And I was like,
could she not hear him?
I love this for her. I love it for me. The people zone out. They tune out. They tune everything out. And I think she just was so focused on coming back without the basket that it didn't even register with her that you needed the basket.
Yeah. There's a lot of adrenaline.
So much.
Yeah.
And I can also tune it out too. So it doesn't, or I can fire back at him. I've talked to him before as well. And so it goes, I appreciate it. I like it. I think it's fun. I don't think it's everybody loves it. Obviously not everybody loves it, but I generally enjoy it.
You're a banter guy. You like the banter.
The same thing. Yeah. I'm a banter guy. I like to also like throw some wrenches in the cogs of people while they're working. I like to cause mayhem. Yeah. So I think if I were in Jeff's position, I'd do the same thing. Yeah. I'd try purposely to kind of poke the bear or try to throw people off their game.
For sure.
So we get these three groups splitting up, and Kyle and Chrissy are just like in limbo. They go back to camp by themselves, and we get the journey. Let's talk about the journey, because the limbo thing, Chrissy wants Joe. Kyle's like, okay, that's probably whatever. And this journey, do you like this journey where it's like, it's a passive aggressive way to target people? Is this it was clever. Did you
It was, yeah.
Would you like to see this again?
It was different. It wasn't as like as a viewer, it wasn't super dynamic, because like I think I was expecting more movement of the balls rather than just the choice of placement. So it didn't feel as like energetic, I think, as I would expect from, you know, we usually see like, I like when it was first proposed, I thought it was going to be like almost like one of those challenges where like the ball goes through a maze and drops in. And like, I thought it was going to be a little bit more of like them grabbing a ball and dropping it in someone's thing and you have to save it before it gets to your thing. Like, I thought there would just be more movement rather than just picking them up and putting them somewhere. I liked the concept of it, but I think it could use a little bit more action.
The other, like,
I also didn't understand that you couldn't place the ball in somebody else's until the challenge got going, right? You could only place it in your own. Is that correct?
I didn't understand that either.
Yeah. So you're picking like, who to screw, sort of.
That's why it was passive aggressive, because you couldn't. So you're timing it and hoping the other people timed it and relying on them to target. And
I wanted more of like a Plinko.
I
wanted like a Price is Right, like drop it in, like a little bit more, you know, like that. But
so you go way over to one side, like targeting somebody, but then it.
And like you can, and then you could kind of choose
to line it up, but there's some randomness.
Well, I just thought everyone would have, and maybe they could do an edit to it in the future. But like I thought everyone had like a ramp, and you either like put one in yours or in someone else's, and you have a chance to save it from yours. But if you're not on defense and you're on offense and you're trying to screw someone, then it's like you're not there to save it. Like I felt like something like that would have made it. That's what I thought it was when it was introduced. So when I was watching it, I was like, when are they going to start running around? They were just all standing there like awkwardly. And I was like, I liked that tension, but poor Star. I mean, come on. I love her. I want Star to stay as long as possible. Like, don't go for Star.
I think she is. We haven't heard until this point in the episode. We didn't hear a single thing. We heard from every single person except Star. Not a thing from Star. Star is on nobody's radar. Nobody's talking about Star. Nobody's looking at Star. It boggles my mind that nobody's like A, looping her in, or B, talking about her in any capacity.
And my worry for her then is that she could have a similar fate as me, where you end up at the end and everyone's like, oh, no, you know, they're taking the other two seriously and you're just there for a good time. You know what I mean? So it's like, I don't want that for her, because she definitely is a very interesting and fun and funny person. But yeah, I'm hoping that we see more of her again, and that we're just not seeing that strategic side of people. I'm sure people are looping her in, but we're not seeing it as part of the storyline. So that just concerns me for what happens to her ultimately. But you know, I don't like to read into it too much, because it could have just been a more quiet episode for her. But yeah, no one's saying her name. So it's like, that's smart for her to get further. But then it's like, what is the perception of her as a player amongst the other players, though? Do they just think that she's along for the ride, you know?
Yeah.
And this could have played out, this journey would have played out way better with a different group of people.
Yeah.
I think Star was just like the unlucky one that was with these three that have blurred lines, that are trying to like be together, but also like be against each other, but can't like show anything. And Star's like just the easy, like inconsequential. But I think you get Joe, Eva, and David and Kyle or something like that. Like some, maybe even not that, because somebody might just fall on the sword. But there's definitely more animated and thrilling groupings to play this game.
Yeah.
The taco bar, we go there. Everybody's eating out of their minds. David wants to target Camilla, which is his main priority. And Eva finds an advantage. Is she going to be able to keep this thing secret like she says she is?
I hope so.
Maybe.
What do y'all think?
That
will it come back to haunt her by keeping it secret from the group, the integrity group? Is she going to then like use it, or somebody's going to see it and be like, oh, dang, she's got something in her bag? Like, could this backfire on her for trying to keep it secret?
Yeah, it could go either way. I mean, I think about
where did you find it?
So think about like Marianne, right? Like Marianne, I feel like her winning moment was when she pulled out, I think it was an idol that no one knew about. And that blew everyone's mind. Like, you've had this idol for how long? And you didn't say anything and you played it right and da-da-da. Like, that sealed the deal for her. But to your point, Tyson, she wasn't playing with a group of people who had this really strong ethos of honesty and loyalty. And so she's kind of in this box, unfortunately, where it's like, well, if you didn't tell us about it, were you playing us all along? Did you break this kind of like code that we've created for ourselves in our group? And so it's tricky. I mean, yeah, I feel like I could see Joe potentially in the future getting really upset about not knowing about this. I think on a high level, she's doing the right thing, but yeah, given the context, I could definitely see it going south for her when she does reveal that she has it, if she keeps it secret. But I feel like she's so close to them. I see her wanting to keep it secret, but I feel like we might see her slip up and at least tell Joe in the near future. That would be my prediction.
It's going to depend on what it is too. Like, we don't even know, what the advantage is. It could be one of these, like, it's a 2-parter or something like that.
Yeah. I mean, she's got to run and find it in the middle of the night, whatever. It could be a 2-parter. She could reveal it at some point. But I think the longer she keeps it secret, if she's unable to keep it secret the whole time, it could backfire on her.
Yeah.
Like, because even if in like 3 days, she's like, hey, I found this. You're like, oh, when? And they're like, at the taco thing. You're like, 3 days ago?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it took you 3 days to be honest, to have integrity took you 3 days.
Yeah.
Tyson, what's your take on people who want to play this way? Like, because obviously the game has evolved.
Hilarious. I wish I could play a whole season with people like this.
So you can win again?
You wish you could.
I wish it was just like me and 17 integrity people.
Yeah.
Easiest game in the world. Yeah, easiest. Although my face is too pointy, they might not trust me just off the bat.
They're all like, have you seen the movie Knives Out, where the main character, she tells a lie, she throws up? We need like,
a tail,
15 of those cast, and then like one person who actually can lie.
Yes.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. One of them that has an adverse reaction to telling the truth.
Yeah.
So just like a kleptomaniac who just lies for the thrill of it, and the only feeling they ever get, the only boost they get in life is from lying.
Yeah.
And then everyone
with
else
a bunch of people
just
who like turn beet red the moment they tell a lie. Yeah, perfect season to Survivor.
Oh my gosh, I would watch
that.
I
love it. And you're trying to decipher, who is reacting to what.
Yeah.
Like, because everybody else is reversing it, is reacting adversely to lying. So the one guy who only reacts when he tells the truth is gonna be able to skate by pretty nicely.
Yeah, perfect.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Would you play, Tyson? Would you do the Traders? I feel like you would be so good on the Traders.
I would be so good at the Traders. I would be too good, probably. That's the problem.
I want to see it. You would be so good.
Angelina, imagine putting a sociopathic mercenary with a sense of humor in a house full of narcissists. They wouldn't know it was coming.
I'm going to speak this into existence. Traders folks, you need Tyson. We need to see this. I need you as a trader on my screen. All right, let's make it happen.
Okay, we'll talk to him. But we're about Survivor here. We're talking about Survivor.
We're loyal.
But
hey,
I would
we're loyal.
slay
we're
on
honest.
The Traders. Yeah.
Okay.
Here's what I want to do on the Traders is I want to have whoever does Alan's wardrobe give me the exact same outfit that I wear in the morning, and Alan shows up like, "Fuck, Alan, are you kidding? We're wearing the same thing again?" Just like every single morning, it's me like, "God damn it, Alan, for reals." I got to text you every night before I choose my outfit if you're going to just show up in the same flamingo pink kilt and bedazzled French beret.
But I want yours to be like the Amazon Shein like dupe version. Like yours to be like the cheapy rinky dinky, and his to be like the nice like tailored Scottish. Like yours needs to be
just like
the Kirkland
ragtag thrown together by myself.
Well, just like it's in the yours is the cheapy
I have
one.
the build. It's gonna look good no matter what I get.
Oh, no doubt. Yeah, you got it. You're gonna rock it.
Yeah, I'll do that. So yeah, that's my plan for traders.
Cool.
Do you think that Camilla was she going home at any point in this episode, or was it always Chrissy? She just the red herring?
No, I truly think that Mary would have gotten her way if it weren't for Kyle. That's my read. What do you think?
I think there was a moment where they were thinking it was Camilla, but then I think that Kyle pushing and Joe's hesitation and willingness to talk about it a couple times kind of forced David and Mary, and then Chrissy going berserko at Tribal just cemented that they should definitely do that. I think they were already doing that, but I think it made them feel much better. Why does Mary want Camilla out so bad? Does she recognize that Camilla is a threat to her in being in the group of 6? Mm-hmm. That's what you're saying, Ashleigh?
They're running the same game. You can totally tell. They both have connections into the honest, integrity, strong boy alliance. And like they're running the exact same game, and it's super amazing just to kind of watch. They should join forces, ladies.
Yeah.
Well, I wanted to ask Angelina about that. As a feminist, who do you root for here? Mary or Camilla?
Well, to be clear, as a feminist, it doesn't mean that I automatically default to rooting for a woman.
Sure.
But I think, so is your question, who am I rooting for? Or are you asking, what are you asking, Tyson? Let's dig into this a little deeper.
Yeah, I was saying, we get girl on girl. We got this integrity group full of these buff, strong dudes. And we got these 2 girls that are just like at each other trying to be in that group. Why don't they come together with the other outliers and squash out the strongman boy group?
So much easier said than done. I found myself in a similar spot on David versus Goliath with Gabby. So on paper, Gabby and I should have tried to band together at some point. But there came a point in the game, not dissimilar from actually where we're at right now with 48, where the Davids were running the show, and I felt betrayed by the Goliaths who were still there. So I was like, I'm working with the Davids now. I'm playing with the Davids now. So I was riding with the Davids, and I kind of de facto like was a threat to Gabby's position with the Davids because she was like the girl with the Davids, and then I was like the girl with the Davids. So it's again, on paper, it's like we have so much in common and we should have wanted to align. But it's like when you're in that moment, you kind of get like animalistic. Like you kind of get like back to your basic, just territorial, like real state of nature where you're just like, this is my spot and there's only one spot. Yeah, you can kill a hyena, a mountain lion with your bare hands, like a chicken,
anything,
whatever. And so I've been in that spot and it's tough. And it's like, again, logically, and you have a plan in your head where you're like, I want to do this and I want to, Black Widow. And I had all these visions in my head before I went of like, oh, the women are going to rise up and then I end up having these like strong rivalries with women on my season. And it's like, things happen that you don't anticipate. And so much of it is like just circumstance. Some of it is personality. Some of it is choices we make. Like it's a combination, but, I mean, I can understand very personally why they are going at each other. They think each other is a threat because of their similarities. But yeah, like I said, I mean, obviously in an ideal world, they would band together and maybe they will next episode. There's still time. So, and Mary and Camilla seem smart enough to kind of see that forest through the trees and hopefully make something happen and get rid of these big dudes.
I agree with you. But I think here's what makes it really tricky is that you see this person that's like, oh, similar to me, we should work together. We could work together. Mary and Camilla are a perfect example of this.
Yes.
But then there's a part of pride where you're like, if I work with her and then she hoodwinks me, I'm going to look like an idiot and I'm going to look like a bigger buffoon than if I just stick with these guys.
True.
And it's like you're measuring all of that too, like the optics of like getting got by certain people at certain times.
For sure.
Where you're also like calculating like the embarrassment factor of the way you could possibly exit, which is like, I'll be so mad, raging mad, if I jump with her and then she immediately throws me under the bus and jumps in with the strong guys and I'm caught out. Like that's, oh man, like it's not, I mean, it's math. There's social, there's emotional, there's strategic. And then there's also like calculating like, how big of an idiot could I look like? And am I willing to stomach that risk?
For sure.
And so we get into tribal council. And there were things said. We pretty much covered the bulk of it. Chrissy just continued to bury herself with the Superman guys. And David looks less and less heroic, less and less like Superman and more like eviler Superman. I don't know what that would be. Riley, you're a big
Superman.
Bizarro Superman.
I think that's what they're something like that.
Yes. Riley, you disagree. You think David is still a hero and you will defend his heroism to your death.
I don't think he was ever Superman.
Okay.
Like, he was always like the big muscly dude, but wasn't he kind of like from the beginning, like, I'm going to play this game? Like, I don't know.
Well, he was kind of like a doofus who didn't understand the game and was going to be the first honest and integrity guy. But now he's really putting his foot down on like,
funnily enough, like he's sticking his foot in his mouth a little bit, like playing too hard with this alliance. But he's actually one of the more perceptive players out there as far as like the bonds and everything. Like he's kind of the one locked in on
pinning
like,
the Kyle and Camilla, clocking that and being like, there's got to be something more. Yeah. I do also agree with that, but he's too aggressive with the reads he's having needs to like, because he wants his way.
He needs to play a more subtle and passive game. Like just, he needs to dial it back a little, but there's actually some real talent there. So I don't know. It's kind of interesting. I love that he's like not a student of the game and doesn't realize that this strategy never works. So it's great.
Well, and to be fair, you can be a student of the game, and then when you're out there, sometimes things go out the window, right? Like you're better, like you get a little crazy. You get a little crazy even if you plan not to. And I can also speak to that from experience. So
yeah, for sure. So everybody's losing their mind. That's what we like in a Survivor season, as the calorie deficit turns to people's brains to eat,
and the loneliness too. It's like you're isolated, and so you start to get a little bit, like you get a little crazy.
Yeah.
So
yeah, and people don't understand that, because people are going to listen to this and be like, "You're not isolated. You're there with 6 people who want to kill you." Like that's isolation. That's still isolation.
Yeah.
So, I was surprised Chrissy didn't play her shot in the dark. She went up and voted and said, I screwed myself by opening my mouth, but then didn't play the shot in the dark. Was a curious decision.
Yes.
Yeah.
And votes come out pretty much all Chrissy, except for one for Shaheen that I'm assuming Chrissy wrote.
Yeah.
Anything else before we get to Riley's reads? Okay, well, Riley's reads it is.
Well, I know we're up against a hard out here. Not my hard out. Just going to let the audience know. But
we got a few minutes. Riley.
Let's do our winner picks. Let's do our predictions. So winner picks from this point forward.
I think I chose Star last week, right? I'm sticking with Star. I think she's under the radar. She's got to start rising to the top soon. But I don't hate the position she's in, but she needs to take some control soon. Angelina, who you got?
Oh my gosh. Winner pick based off of who I want or who I think it might be? Because sometimes it's
Who do you think?
Who do you think it will be after this episode? Yeah.
Honestly, I think we could, this is so many different directions. I think it could be Camilla or Kyle. I think it could be one of those two as a winner.
Yeah.
All right.
I like that.
I'm
Ashleigh?
sticking with Mary. Mary's got to win.
Okay.
I put money down
She's got
on
a good
her,
winner arc for sure. I could see that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I like that. She's starting to dictate the game from behind the scenes and making David do all the dirty work for it.
Heck yeah. She's smart. She's smart too, and she's strong. She's got like that Tyson build. Strong but unexpected.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Stronger than I look.
Exactly.
I'm sticking with Kyle, although I felt like this episode, it was interesting that it's basically a unanimous vote for Chrissy, but so much of the episode is about how he was trying to save Camilla and how that's kind of like that undercover duo is sort of rising up to be more visible to everybody. And so I think it was actually kind of like not the best episode for him, but certainly I'm still feeling good about it. I picked him preseason. He's still in it.
Wow.
And, you know, it could happen.
Yeah.
Who's going home next week, though?
One of the strong guys.
Yeah. I for sure I think one of the integrity group. I think it implodes here.
Yes.
Do Joe and Eva get split up, or is it David, though, is the question.
So I think it's David. Because I just think he plays too hard, and a lot of these other people have shown, a real willingness and ability to work together. And I think eventually they're just going to come around and be like, hey, like, don't you hate it that this guy feels like he has to call every shot? And that'll be it for him.
And I think Joe has some protection just with all of the advantages that Eva has. I think enough people know about that, and they know how close they are, that they know that she would kind of cover him if his name was out there too strong. So I think David as well is next week.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, let's do it. David, out.
The tribe has spoken.
We'll see. We could all be wrong. Yeah. The pod has spoken. Riley, what else we got?
Well, are we at time, or do we...
No, keep going. We got a few minutes.
Okay, we usually do favorite moment of the episode. Do you have something that stood out?
This is just a very small moment, but I did rewind it to watch it a couple times because I was like, as right after the opening credits, they left an extra long panoramic view of the landscape with the birds tweeting in the background. And it was like multiple seconds of that pan. And I was like, oh, that's an artistic thing that they haven't done before. I was just like, this is like the calm before the storm happens, before everything starts to really build. So I was like, that was probably a metaphor. And also it's beautiful out there. It's nice to see it sometimes. That's me.
It's stunning. It's such a stunning country. I think my favorite moment, I love Mary's kind of rise. Like I love to see someone who struggled, and I mean she said she's the last from her tribe, and I love she got far in the challenge. She almost won the challenge. Like I love to kind of see Mary rising from the ashes a bit. I thought that was really, really fun to watch.
Yeah. That was fun.
For me, it is after Eva found the scroll and she's like rolling around in the dirt, burping, but smiling because she's so happy. I love that moment. It connects.
And she kept burping. She was like, yeah. Yuck. I was kind of grossed out by it.
It's hilarious.
The show has something for everybody.
Mine's the awkward silence after they got tree mail and realized they had to pick group.
Yes, that was fun too. Nobody wanted to be the first one to determine how things were selected. And then the second Chrissy was like, we should draw. And Joe's like, no.
Yeah.
No. I was hoping you were going to say we should each choose a partner, but you didn't. So now I have to. Yeah, that was good.
Who did the most on this episode to advance their game, would you say?
I think Mary did the most, honestly. Like she worked her way into that strong six. She has David fighting for her, and she has pretty much everybody against the underdogs. If she can keep that going. If David goes next week, though, then she will have a little different battle.
Yeah, for sure. I would say Camilla. I think that she was really put to the fire this episode, and she found that her asset, her hidden advantage really, really bore itself out and saved her. I think we would have seen a different episode if she and Kyle didn't have that relationship and that connection.
I think 2 people, Mitch and Star. Those were the 2 people who should have been, if it was an easy vote, put on the chopping block. But they kind of slipped right through. And Mitch seems to never really be brought up anymore. So I think whatever he's doing behind the scenes, good job, Mitch.
It's working.
Prom King.
Okay.
Prom King.
Prom King.
I think I would say Joe. I don't know if his game is in the strongest place necessarily, but I thought the way that he played the schoolyard pick thing was very smart, and he sees more of the board than I gave him credit for previously.
Yeah.
Last category here is who damaged their game the most, other than Chrissy.
Other than Chrissy, I mean, she did a pretty good job of damaging her game over the last couple
I don't
weeks.
think she has a good shot of winning at this point.
She has a 0%, almost 0%,
almost zero
at this point. Who damaged their game the most? Probably Kyle, pushing so hard for Camilla. I don't know if everybody recognized that, but David's definitely onto it. David, I mean, it's between Kyle and David. David got aggro, a little too aggro with Kyle, and Kyle went a little too hard in protecting Camilla. So
yeah. I was going to say the same thing, honestly. Cosign.
Yeah. Thank you. Ashleigh?
I'm also going to go out of the norm. And I got to say Mary just a little bit, even though she's like my winner pick. I think she's uncovering too much. Like she's showing that she has an opinion about like things. And I feel like in a group that she's trying to integrate into, you kind of have to stay silent and be like a silent killer. And when they're eating the tacos, I was like, Mary, no, don't tell them. Don't tell them yet. And I feel like now they're mentioning her a bunch. And I think that's kind of detrimental to her game.
Right.
I think Kyle. Yeah, it pains me to say it as my winner pick, but I do think that his cover is a little bit blown this episode.
Okay. Yeah, I think so. Okay, what do we got, Riley? Anything else?
That's all.
Okay.
I'm good.
Well, thank you so much, Angelina, for all of your input and your time. I know you're a busy mom over there, a dog mom too. And you'll see the dog if you watch the YouTube. We're on YouTube. We're on Spotify, wherever podcasts are listened to. Riley, thank you for being here. I won't harass you for sometimes being absent this time.
Thank you.
And Ashleigh, thank you for making us sound and look amazing. Thank you all for tuning in. Until next week, see ya.